care for a cigarette?
No thanks, I don't smoke.
I'm Mrs. Murray, Judy Murray. And since we have to wait together, why don't we keep each other company?
I'm Mrs. Groton, Nancy Groton. This you first?
How could you guess?
You don't look so well.
Have you been through this before?
Only once, 2 years ago.
What happened?
George gave me a fine baby.
Girl?
No, boy.
That's tough luck.
Not this time, though. We've ordered a girl, and that's what we're going to get. The doctor practically guaranteed it.
I don't care what I get, as long as it's a baby.
I'm going to have a nice girl. Someone I can bake cookies with. Someone I can sew dresses with. You know, a woman gets lonely for female companionship. It'd be nice to have a daughter to take shopping, take back to the Visor reunion.
Sounds wonderful.
We've enrolled her for the class of 71. I'm knitting a sweater for her with a large V on it.
Boys are nice too.
Our Ralph's a nice fellow, but he's a father's boy. You know how it is.
Not yet.
You will.
Aren't you worried?
No, it will be a girl, all right.
I mean about your husband.
George? He's as strong as an ox. He wants to have an even dozen. You know, I think the only reason men like to have babies is so they could get off work for a few weeks.
I heard that they get them up the very next day after it happens.
It's not like the old days. When my Llewellyn had his first, they kept him upstairs for 3 weeks after he came home.
Now they have them walking the very next day?
The very next.
At least that's what they did with George after Ralph was born.
I won't let them get John up the next day. I won't permit it.
You won't have anything to say about it.
John's had a tough enough time, worked up until the very last minute too. He was at a late business conference when he realized it was happening. He phoned me right away. Then his father. Dad's coming up to run the business while John's recuperating.
My father-in-law came down for the first 4, but no more. He doesn't want to spend his 2 weeks vacation down here every year.
I guess your husband sort of gets used to it.
Sure. 5 days after the last one, Llewellyn was back at the office.
It took George 10 days.
There's really nothing to it.